Hi, my name is Rabbi Allie Fishman. I'm the camp director at URJ Camp Newman in Northern California. Today I want to talk to you about Cheshbon HaNefesh, a spiritual accounting of the soul. This practice can be traced back to one of our rabbi ancestors back in the late 1700s and early 1800s. And Cheshbon HaNefesh is really meant to be a time for us to use this month of Elul to prepare ourselves for the high holidays, for Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Yamim Noraim, the days of awe between those two sacred days in our Jewish calendar. It's a really special practice, and it really revolves around looking deeply into ourselves and doing a real deep dive into what has happened the past year, what our actions have been like, what our thoughts have been like, everything that we've done in this year that perhaps we didn't surpass what we wanted to be surpassing, and the goals that we've created for ourselves, either in our own lives of how we treat ourselves or how we act in, around our family, around our friends, or maybe in the way that we treat other people or the way that we interact with the world. I love Cheshbon HaNefesh as a spiritual act because it was taught to me by one of my favorite teachers to a blessed memory, Rabbi Richard Levy. And the way that he taught it to us was just that having the most compassion for yourself while going through this process, and truly deeply looking honestly within ourselves to see what it is that we fell short this past year. How did we fall short in the ways that we really want to be, and are we becoming the people who we really truly want to be in our actions, words, and the way that we interact with people and the world around us. I process everything through art, so today I have something special for you. Instead of my just continuing to talk this whole time, I have a special representation for you of a visual representation of artistic expression of how I engage in the practice of Cheshbon HaNefesh. I use a lot of books and podcasts and a lot of Musar materials, also the spiritual and really beautiful mode that we have and medium in Judaism to be able to look inside ourselves and cultivate the best things about ourselves that we can. So I hope that you enjoy my artistic representation of this, and that you have an opportunity to look deep within yourself to prepare for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and that it's a really very meaningful high holiday season.
Echad sha'alti me'et Adonai ota evakesh. One thing I ask of God, for this I yearn, to dwell in the house of God all the days of my life. This verse, taken from the middle of Psalm 27, the High Holiday Psalm, is a cry from the psalmist's heart and from ours. Please, God, allow me to feel your presence. Among those who are heading back to shul, as it were, during this high holiday season, are those who are dealing with mental illness and their families. They may feel stigma, a need to hide their suffering due to unwarranted shame about their illness. They may not even be able to show up. We know that those with mental illnesses are looking to synagogues for help. Over 60% of those diagnosed with mental illness go to a clergy member seeking support, and over 80% describe themselves as spiritual. What if some of those who came for the holidays stayed? How do we create communities that are the house of God for all comers, that are welcoming for the mentally ill and their families? We go back to our core values. We articulate them each morning. Elul divarim she'adam ochel peroteim be'olam hazeh. These are the deeds for which a person consumes their fruit in this world, and they continue to yield fruit in the world to come. And these are them: Gemilut Chasadim, deeds of loving kindness; Haknesat Orchim, welcoming the stranger; and Bikur Cholim, visiting the sick. When we reach out to one another, we are also reaching up to God, creating not only a Beit Knesset, a house of gathering, but also a Beit Hashem, a place where we can dwell in the presence of the Holy One of blessing. We are, all of us, seeking ways to build community, to build a house that God might inhabit. Who among us does not wish to be accepted for who we are? These are the hopes of those among us with mental illnesses and of their families and of us all. When we as individuals and synagogues consciously open our gates and our hearts to those among us who are hurting, we make space for everyone. Let us welcome strangers and turn them into friends. Let us visit the ill among us and heal ourselves along the way. Let us turn to one another in loving kindness, to meet each other with open hearts and willing hands. Then shall we find the divine in one another, each of us created in the image of God. Then shall we dwell in the house of God. I'm Rabbi Sandra Cohen, wishing you a Shana Tova.